All right. Echo, 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 echo. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Amateur Radio Roundtable. This is a show about ham radio, amateur radio, shortwave, electronics, and other things similar there. Sometimes we get on subjects that might not fit exactly the description of the channel, but hey, we have fun on here anyway. If you're listening out there on WBCQ, worldwide, international, very famous shortwave station, WBCQ on 7490, would love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. Let us know where in the world you are and how you're hearing the station. And if you are tuned in to one of our podcasts, we've got audio podcasts out there from Google Play to iTunes to Spreaker to iHeartRadio. All of them are carrying us out there. So let us know how you listen to us on the audio podcast. And whether you're driving across the country listening or maybe you're listening at work, just let us know there if you will. Also, if you will, hit that subscribe button. Tonight we're on Twitch TV, Facebook groups, YouTube, and what's the other one? Oh, Twitch TV. We're on all those live tonight. I don't know if you got a subscribe button down there or not, but if you got a subscribe button down there, it probably is going to be down in the bottom right corner there, somewhere right down in there, right over in there somewhere. Please hit that subscribe button if you will, and hit the like and maybe hit the bell there so you'll be notified if we come on during the week. You might want to know what we're doing here. So do that. The last thing is our Facebook group. We've got a good ham radio Facebook group. You can go to Facebook and just search for it, and it just is the simplest way to find it. Is just to type in W5KUB in the search on Facebook, and it'll pull it up. We'll approve your membership, and you'll be a member of it right there, and we would love to have you. We've got about 14,000 hams in that group. The number doesn't seem to be doing much. It seems like we'll get a bunch, but then Facebook cleans them out or something, and they go back down. But it's resting right around, just right under 14,000 people. So, hey, join our Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that group and be a member here. All right, let's see. There's a lot going on tonight. We've got the major disaster in the southeast over in Tennessee, and especially down in North Carolina, near our home there in western North Carolina. It's pretty bad over there. And then we got another one fixing to hit. I mean, people aren't talking much about Florida. They got hit really bad too. And they've been cleaning out all their furniture out of their houses and putting new floors in and all that. And then tonight we're going to have another Cat 4 or Cat 5, probably tomorrow morning, hit Florida again. It's going to wipe all that out. It's going to be tough. I think just about all of Florida is evacuating. I saw video of them on the highway getting out of Dodge, and it's good because they're talking about water maybe as high as 14 foot, coming inland here. So that's going to be pretty bad. So hey, tonight we got several things going on. We got Glen back with us. We'll talk with Glen in a minute. And I'm going to give Glen 45 seconds to give us a synopsis of what happened to him last week. And Glen, if you go over that, you're going to get demerits, okay?
Okay.
All right. We've got Brett here who has some pictures or videos from a Hamfest he went to. We're going to talk about that tonight. And man, I've got some interesting little things going on here. I'm getting ready to do another Pico balloon launch and fly a balloon around the world. But you guys, since our best balloon stayed up 450 days, and then it finally quit transmitting, I haven't done another one. So I've been wanting to do something different. It was getting so easy to get one around the world. I want to do something different. So we have programmed the newest tracker build here, not only is it going to transmit whisper on 20 meters, but it's also going to transmit whisper on 10 meters. So it's going to be a dual band, 20 and 10 meters. And nobody else has done this before that I know of, because usually your antenna is a single dipole just hanging out there. We have constructed here in the shack and built a trapped dipole for 20, 10 meters. And we built the traps out of little drinking straws with little number 36 wire around them, and made the little traps and put them in the wire. And it's been a lot of fun making the traps and setting up the dual band dipole. And it's on the air right now too. And if you go out there to APRS, you can see it at W5KUB-120 and W5KUB-121. And it's just hanging in a tree out here in the backyard. And I want to talk about how the trap antenna is working for 10 and 20. And I've got some pictures of some of the propagation there. So anyway, we're gonna have fun with that. Let's see, anything else going on here? Let's turn it over. Let's turn it over Let's go to Glen and give him his 45 seconds. Hey, Glen, come on in here, man. How you doing?
45 seconds, huh? By the way, you know that there's another one, Nadine, that's trailing the hurricane in Florida. It's looking to develop, so there's another one in the works.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right, get your stopwatch ready.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Let me get ready here. All right. Go.
All right, cardiologist, stopwatch, stress test, bang, 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 just going at it. Boom, boom, clear. Send him to the hospital.
Oh,
Done.
Man. That's pretty good synopsis there.
No.
So you went in for just a regular checkup after your heart problems, and I mean you had surgery a few years, 5 years ago.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah.
I'll go in detail here.
Yeah, I tell you what. Let me stop. I'm gonna
go to Brett.
I'm gonna be nice tonight. Let me stop the stopwatch.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. No, I went over to Memphis for a 5-year post-surgery. I had a triple bypass and valve replacement 5 years ago, and it was just supposed to be a baseline check to see how everything was going. And everything was looking real good on the echocardiogram and all the other tests. And they put me on the stress test, and I made it 6 minutes into what was predicted to be 7.5 on that stress test. And let's just say I failed it miserably. I went into 100% atrial fibrillation with atrial flutter. So I bet Don is over there just cringing. And they hit me up hard with a bunch of stuff to slow and stabilize the heart. It would not after an hour. They sent my butt to the emergency room, put me on an IV drip, and kept me there overnight. By 6 o'clock next morning, I was back to normal. But the stress test was valid enough that they saw some things. And basically, they discovered, I'm not going to go into the technical details, but they discovered 2 repairable items that my doctor called anomalies, that they're going to have to go in and do a heart catheterization for, which is just a catheter up through the wrist and either put in a stent or a blade, which is burn off the scar tissue, because it's right in the bypass area. And that should clear it up and all of the long-standing issues I've had post-surgery. Yeah, Papa Doc is saying stents. So that's pretty much where we're at. But otherwise than that, other than doctor's orders of don't overdo it, I'm fine. So that's where it sits.
All right.
Just not going to do any 6-minute stress tests for a while.
Well, take care. Take it easy,
Yeah. Let me tell you what, though. When they say cardiac stress test, first of all, what they don't tell you about it is they give you this glow-in-the-dark solution. I am literally radioactive for, a little while as part of this test. And they literally push you to the absolute limit of your abilities on that treadmill.
Well, you know, a few
And
years ago, I had one done. I thought I'd had some heart issues, and you know, they put me on the treadmill, and they ran me to death. I thought I did pretty good. You know,
yeah,
I was going at it. You know, man, I was going at it. I was getting a little tired, but I was going at it, and I said, "How long am I got to run on this?" And they said the doctor wanted 6 minutes or something like that. You know,
yeah.
he said he wants X minutes, and I said, "Okay, well, I've done my 6 minutes. Can I quit?" They said, "Yeah." Okay, so I thought I did really good. And then I get this phone call that I flunked it.
Yep.
You know, that I flunked the thing. So then I go in for deeper. I mean, I'm talking serious, you know, heart test, and I don't know if it was, man, I don't know the difference between MRI and what's the other one? MRI and CAT scan, but they did that too on the heart. And they gave me, while I was in there, they gave me nitroglycerin. Did they do that to you? Did you get the nitroglycerin?
No, they gave me nothing but amiodarone,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that stabilized things out, but it took 14 hours.
yeah, well, I think I was glowing too when I went in that thing, but then they gave me the nitroglycerin put under the tongue, and somehow I think that's supposed to slow your heart down real slow.
It dilates your blood vessels.
Yeah, and it's supposed to slow you down really slow. And the guy says now, when you put this in your mouth, you're going to feel like you pee in your pants. He said everybody feels like that when they take it. I go, okay. Well, I took it, you know, put it on her tongue. I didn't feel like that, but I felt like it was number 2 instead of number 1, okay?
Ouch.
All right, for all you guys watching tonight, that's as deep as we're going to get into the medical test. Although I came out and he said I had the heart of a 30-year-old, so I was okay. So who knows?
Lucky you. Yeah.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Okay.
But no, it's all good. They're working on getting me scheduled in here, and I'm looking forward to it to get it out of the way. And I'm back, and the next trip is going to be an outpatient kind of surgery, and not even surgery, but an outpatient procedure. So half a day, thereabouts, and it'll be all done and over with.
Yeah. Well, guys, the reason we brought this up on the show tonight is we want this to kind of sound like 75 meters.
There you go. Yeah.
So we're trying to make it sound like 75, and somebody mentioned that in the chat room. Thank you for that. All right, well, very good. All right, hey, let's go over to Brett there, man. And what's going on with you, Brett? And what have you been doing?
Well, in Laramie, Wyoming, we have the most gorgeous weather of the year right now. It is like 70 to 72 during the day, and it is, sunny and very little wind. The trees are turning color. It is just perfect. This is the weather we wait for all year long. And so on Sunday, I participated in an ice cream social out in the park, and we had a band out there. It was just, it's just, like I said, absolutely fantastic. And I went to a Hamfest, and I found some killer deals.
Cool.
So I'm having a great time here, and I wish they were having such a great time in Florida. I've been tracking what's going on in Florida. If you'd like, I can share my screen either now or later in the hour and show what's going on there.
All right, so let me look at this. You know what? Oh, there's a share button right there. Let's see.
Yeah, Brett, we actually got up to like 92 or 93 here the other day, and I'm like, come on already. This is August or September. No, wait a minute. I'm in October. See, the drugs messed me up.
Okay, here we go.
Let's get you in here full screen. Try this.
That's funny. It didn't share. Okay, there it
We
is.
sharing?
There it is. This is the storm surge forecast for Florida, and as you can see, the highest, the peak, the storm is aiming right at Tampa, and they've never, they've had a lot of hurricanes go nearby, but they haven't had a direct hit in quite a long time, and this is going straight at them. Miami, on the other hand, is probably going to be spared most of the storm, but this is the reason why they're clearing out Central Florida, because it's just as you can see, it's just right there, right in the center, and they're predicting a 15-foot storm surge or a potential surge right there. So that's pretty crazy. The entire storm is going to go roughly like this. And so pretty much anywhere within this blue area is the area that's probably going to have to be evacuated. So it's wild down there, and I don't know. I'm just like I said, I'm glad we're here, and I hope that everybody winds up being safe there.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
a couple of friends living in Orlando, and we're talking back and forth, and they're not happy, but they're staying.
Wow. Yeah. Orlando, the airport's shutting down.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine everything's going to be shut down in that area, man. I mean, nearly all of Florida's going to be shut down. Wow. Hey, well, let's do this. You want to go ahead and show us your pictures and talk to us about the Hamfest?
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
I've got to do a different screen share. See if this works. Okay, here we are. You should see a little traffic cone. Here we are. This is BarkFest at the Boulder County Fairgrounds, which aren't in Boulder, Colorado. You'd think it's in Longmont, Colorado. And there are all the people coming into the Hamfest. There was quite a long line. I managed to already get in at that point. And they have a really good swap meet. It's not huge, but the quality of the items is just fantastic. And so this is sort of a little tour around the swap fest tables. All sorts of cool stuff here. You'll recognize some of it.
Yeah.
Nice high power antennas unit
Oh,
there.
I like it, man. I like that. Oh, man.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
A lot of military gear.
yeah.
Where was this at?
This is in Longmont, Colorado, and there I stopped by the booth to put in my raffle ticket for the door prize, and I hardly ever win door prizes, so but I went ahead and did it anyway. And I was interested in that amplifier, but I'd never seen
Yeah.
it like it before in fluorescent orange. I wasn't sure exactly what it was.
That's a Mako amplifier. That's for CB.
Aha.
Yeah.
See, and here
Lots
the
of nice old stuff, though.
Yeah,
Man, that
yeah,
looks
there's
good.
the old
military gear.
receivers. Yeah. Back in the early days, we used those receivers for VFOs.
Yep, there you are.
That receiver right there, by the way, that receiver, what is it, Mr. Carlson's? He just did a refurb on one of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Lots of books.
Uh-huh.
And this is put on by the Boulder Amateur Radio Club. And they are big and very active. That was their display there.
Nice.
And, well, as you can see, they had some good stuff. This fellow bought that Kenwood radio, and I pointed out to him after he did that that's the matching speaker going by there, and so he went and bought that too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's nice to get the matching speaker with it.
Oh,
And,
yes.
this fellow right here, oh, okay, darn, I tried to pause it, and I'll need to go back to where we were. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, we're a little bit behind where we were.
There you
Okay.
go.
Almost. I'm interpolating in on where it was. Okay. We're coming back to where it was. So anyway, like I said, I pointed out the matching speaker in the corner there, and he wound up buying that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, hams don't just do ham radio. There's a fellow at the next table after all these tools.
Yeah.
It's called the Honey Ham Farms, and he raises bees and bottles the honey.
Nice.
So you can get that there. And he had it for a good price too.
Cool.
So I went ahead and scored some of that for my wife, who likes cooking with honey.
I love honey.
Yes. More transceivers here. A lot of and the people were willing to bargain too. If you offered them a bit less than what it was.
There's
what
a
was on the
10B,
tag,
a 10B or a 20A. I don't know which one that is back here.
there is a different national, not the one that I have, but it's another one of those classic radios with the yellow plastic dial.
Late model Heathkit.
Yep.
Looks like an 820, maybe a TS
That looks
820.
like a Viking 2 or thereabouts.
And this is one of the things you can do. I'm not sure whether this was an Arduino or a Pi, but what they were doing with the LEDs was pretty impressive.
Oh, very nice.
Wow. Cool.
Very nice.
All right. Let's see what I want.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Electronics modules there.
Yeah.
A lot of scientific equipment. They're not too far from Boulder, which has NIST, and so there's lots of surplus stuff. Good
Yeah,
microscope.
Microscope.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
inside.
There was a lot of good stuff even under the tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamfest. I find that sometimes that's the best place to look.
Looks pretty clean. A lot of stuff. Yeah.
Some of this is very specialized gear, and this fellow was selling a complete 5 gigahertz video link with the two ubiquity radios and antennas.
Uh-huh.
We're interested in working satellites. This is, you got the dual Yagis.
Yeah.
And these people here do ballooning, but not the not the long duration flight in micro balloons. They send up weather balloons to do short term experiments,
Uh-huh.
and they were advertising their flights. They carry much heavier payloads than the micro balloons for a little while, so they can do quick experiments.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are. We're cruising along again on another one of the rows of tables. All sorts of interesting junk. And we got to this next table, and
Oh, wow.
I saw this thing right here, and I said, "What is that?" And the guy said, "I don't know, but we brought it to about 3 Hamfests, and it didn't sell. So, we'll sell it for whatever you think whatever you think you might be willing to pay for it." And I said, "Well, what do you want?" I said, and they said $50.
Oh, my gosh.
So I went ahead and bought this Alex Loop portable antenna.
That is a portable mag loop antenna, dude.
That's right, and it's good up to 20 watts. And apparently, if you buy it new, it costs a bunch more than $50. But
Significantly much more.
yeah, it folds up into a nice little zipper case, and it's great for POTA. And I'm going to be trying it this week. I'm going to be hooking it up to my G90, which is perfect. It has, its maximum output power is 20 watts, to see how well it does. Probably set it up at a picnic table in the park.
All right, now
Yeah.
you know that you know how a loop transmits broadside to the loop, but
Yep.
that antenna there transmits off the edges.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, well,
it's
hopefully I'll
not
put it
broad
out.
it's not broadside, but the mag loops transmit off the ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you got a magnetic field, and the electric field's perpendicular. So yeah. Anyway, this has a little knob at the bottom, you can see, and what you do is you can tune this all the way from 7 megahertz up to 20. So we got quite a range there of what you can, or up to 30 megahertz actually. So you can go all the way from 10 meters down to 40 in theory. Now I'm told that mag loops, unless they're really big, get very inefficient when you get to long wavelengths. So probably the best thing to do is do 20 meters and above. So anyway, back to that table.
Those are very popular with the QRP guys. That's where I see it.
Yep, that's what I'm hoping to use it for. And yet more interesting stuff.
I would have needed my own plane to haul that stuff home.
Yeah. There are a lot of bencher of the keys around, and then this person had a whole truckload of
Oh, wow.
really huge solar panels that had come off the roof of something For $150 each, these are like 290-watt panels. And I was
Wow.
really tempted. I may still go back to them and buy some.
Good heavens, yes.
So those are seriously powerful panels. So I
Yeah,
was-
that's my
There's a
kind
little,
of
I saw
hamfest.
something here. It looked like it had an 829 tube in it. A little glass tube with two tops on it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a 2 meter amp or something.
Yep, and then you have these little, this is a little CW 5-band SDR transceiver. It's a kit. And they have all the instructions here and talk about how to build it. It's really inexpensive too, so if you are into QRP, it's not very expensive to get into this at all. Here's a nice Helicrafters.
Mm-hmm.
And people were just selling cable for almost nothing. Connectors, junk. Here are the tubes. I couldn't find any of the tubes that I wanted in there, but
Yeah,
still a nice assortment.
signal generator. Nice.
Yeah. Another SWL receiver. And the free stuff at these events is incredible.
Wait a minute, they got a
they had
free
3 or
table?
4
Oh, man.
They had 3 or 4 free tables.
Oh,
Oh man.
that would have been worth driving over for.
No kidding.
Look at that, there's a scope right there, a free
Yeah.
scope.
Yeah. This
There's
was
your
not, this was not free. This is expensive.
I was gonna say there's your tube tester.
Yep.
I actually have I think 3 now.
Yeah. Spectrum analyzer. Big and heavy and rack mounted, but apparently it works.
That speaker has seen gentler days.
Yes, indeed.
Nice place.
Oh yeah. The Boulder County Fairgrounds. I've been to a lot of events in that building that had nothing to do with ham radio. I was at an SCA feast in that building once.
Yeah,
Long
hey,
time
hey
ago.
Glenn, are you noticing the great video photography that he's doing
Are you implying something?
with the widescreen
Yeah. Are you
Instead-
implying something?
instead of the vertical? No, just commenting. He's doing a great job, man. Looks good. Looks good.
Well, Tom, you requested horizontal, so I'm
Yeah.
doing horizontal. And here's yet another national. I just wanted to,
Yeah.
yeah. This one doesn't have the round dials, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they were selling books, and this table had interesting tubes here.
Oh
Take a
wow,
look.
yeah.
Take a look at that collection.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had something which really caught my eye.
Oh my gosh, yes.
code.
That thing is,
The code, yeah.
that is a crank up Morse code player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is neat.
So what you do there, let's see.
Now, I haven't seen the crank one before, but I've seen the tape one. The crank is the first one I've seen.
And you can see the dots and dashes on the tape.
You just better hope the tape doesn't tear. Might miss a
Maybe
letter.
that's where they got the idea. Go on before magnetic tape. That's the other one.
That is pretty.
Oh, that is so neat.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. That was just such a neat gadget.
Oh, absolutely.
Apparently, that was used in the military to teach people how to copy code.
Cool.
So this is most of what we had. I
Yeah.
bought a couple of other items too, which I'll show you in a second. Oh, they also had amateur TV there, various microwave TV transmitters in the area. And well, okay, yeah. There were two things that I also bought that I couldn't really show very well as we were touring around. The first one was a pair of Cobra brand GMRS HDs, and these are little tiny radios. You know, they're very small HDs, but they're very capable. They will do all the GMRS and FRS channels. The only thing that they don't have is they don't have the ability to do an offset, so you can't hit a repeater with them. But as long as you're just transmitting between the two of them, you can do all sorts of things. And I only paid for the two of them plus the charger $10. That was a real steal.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The other thing I found, which really isn't, it's not necessarily a ham radio tool, but nonetheless it was there. For $15, they sold me a reciprocating saw.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
okay,
that's good to have.
it's
That's good to have
cheap
there.
Harbor Freight brand, but you know it worked. I plugged it in, and turned it on, and you know it was in good shape. And they even gave me the blades, which are probably worth the $15 right there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And that's good for cutting a tower down or cutting a pipe in half or anything like that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I have some things I need to cut apart and dispose of before winter, and I'm going to use that.
Very cool.
So there you go.
That was good.
That's so I had a good time at the Hamfest, and I came back with some stuff that were, you know, they're great. There were really some things that are really great bargains.
And
Now you've got
what
me
was
wanting
the
another
what
Hamfest.
was the receiver model you bought?
The Cobra HTs were model.
No. Didn't you buy a receiver?
No, I didn't buy a receiver. I just looked at a lot of them. But,
Oh, okay.
No, he wants to know the national receiver you've got.
Okay, so you're looking for tubes for a receiver you already had.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
that's my background right here, which is
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
N73.
That's a big radio. I hope it has big tubes in it.
It has a whole bunch of 6-volt tubes in it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's you know, the filaments are driven off a transformer. They're not all in series off the power line.
Yep.
And so it has a massive, and this is what makes it heavy. It has a massive 6-volt transformer
Mm-hmm.
to provide all the current for all those filaments. And so it is big, and it is filled with goop. And some of these radios, you know, the tar PCBs and other things start to leak out. This one is clean. Doesn't have that problem, fortunately.
All right. Well, hey,
But, the audio isn't great, and I want to test all the tubes and replace the ones that need replacing.
well, that's a nice receiver. I would start collecting some of that if I had room for it. I just don't have room anymore. Man,
Yeah, I'm kind of the same
You know.
way.
wow. All right. Well, hey, it was a great Hamfest you went to. That was good, man. I like it. I don't know when the
Yeah,
next
the
Hamfest is
front
going to be
range
around
ham-
here, Glenn. What do we got coming up here? Let's see.
I
This
think
is-
it's the Crowley Ridge one, whenever that one is. I'll look it up here.
Yeah, I probably won't go to that one. That's pretty small, but
Hey, it's
I
a
mean,
Hamfest, and I'm in the
yeah,
Hamfest.
it's a good little drive though. You know.
Well, for you.
Yeah, I may end up going to it. I don't know. We'll see.
I thought it was.
And then I guess
There we-
let's see.
I think I saw
It's October. It'll be October, November.
Yeah, I just saw it and I clicked past it on something else.
You know, when does Memphis comes around? About what's that? That's in April, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
is it
that's in
February?
April.
April.
Jackson probably would be the first big one in January.
Yeah, you know the Trenton one was good. I need to see when the Trenton was because that was a good. And I'll probably go back to that one.
Yeah.
Well, you went with me to Trenton.
No, I did not.
Yeah, didn't you?
Oh, that's right. That was the Nashville one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Looks like Crowley's Ridge is on October 26th.
Oh. Okay.
Let's see how far that
I
is from
can't.
me.
I can't go to that. I'll be in Greece on the 26th.
That ought to be nice.
That sounds kinky.
Yep. Yep. I've set up my remote base here where I can talk to the locals from over there. All right, so
I don't know. Does the U.S. have an agreement with Greece where we can operate with our own licenses, or?
I don't know, but I'll be remote based from there. So I'll be on either my phone through internet back to my remote base here, talking to the locals. So no law against me talking on the internet. Chattanooga, October the 18th. Oh man, Chattanooga's a good little drive from here, man.
Yeah, Crowley's Ridge is just as far for me as it is for you. It's 2.5 hours.
They need to move that Chattanooga closer.
But the good news is Russellville will be a
Don,
hop,
how
skip, and a jump.
many people? What's the size of Chattanooga? I've never been to it. Is it?
Never been.
Is it in the hundreds or maybe 1,000 or 2,000? What do you think it is, Don? Chattanooga, the 18th.
It's on the opposite end of the country for me now.
I could make that.
Yeah.
I could. Okay. All right. Well, very good. Hey, man, thanks for the Hamfest. We're always interested in looking at what's at the Hamfest that you go to. Don says it's about 1,000 people. That's not bad. That's probably bigger than the Memphis one here.
Yeah.
Is the Chattanooga, is it a 2-day or a 1-day? Anybody know? All right. Let's do this. Let's take just a quick break. We'll be right back, guys, and we're going to get into something else here. We'll be right back. Keep your competitive contesting edge with Icom. Our high-powered base stations cut through the pile-ups, letting you work the bands and record those contacts. Contest from the comfort of your home or remotely with the RSBA1 app. Heard it, worked it, logged it. Icom heard the call and has answered. The ICPW2 is here. Take your contesting experiences to the next level with Icom's industry-first linear amplifier, which includes DPD, digital pre-distortion, and a built-in 2x6 automatic antenna selector for SO2R, which is single operator 2 radio operation. With the IC7610, faint signals are no longer challenging for DXers and contesters. This high-performance SDR radio changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. The high-powered base station features an RF direct sampling system, 110 dB RMDR, that can pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals, an independent dual receiver, dual digit select, and more. This is the SDR receiver that everybody wants. For more information, contact www.icomamerica.com/lineup/products/IC-7610. All right, and we are back. The Chattanooga 2-day Hamfest here. 2 days. Okay, no camera on this computer. Okay, Bill says no camera. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the phone lines again, guys. I'm going to open the phone lines tonight. Just take me a second to open them.
I'm going to have to start focusing on the Hamfests that are to the west of me now that I'm a little bit closer.
Yeah. Oh, hey, when's the Russellville? I want to go back to that again.
I'm not sure. That
I
was
feel
in
lucky.
the middle of
I
winter.
feel lucky with the on Russellville.
Man, you cleaned house.
I feel lucky there, man. All right. Hey,
You are the only participant in the conference.
I'm the only person on the conference. Okay. All right. So, Bill, I'll put the phone number up in case you want to call in. And if anybody else wants to call in the show, please call in. And here's the phone number right there. Okay. Yeah, give us a call at 716-427-1083. And you'll have to put the code in, 407051 pound or hash, whatever you call that thing nowadays. I don't know. We used to call it a pound sign. Okay. Let me get the music off here. And Bill, if you want to call in, Bill, join us. I'm going to talk about the antenna and a few things we're doing with the Pico. And I'll try to watch the phone system to see if anybody does call in. So, guys, if you do call in, just stand by. I'll try to look over and pick you up. All right. So, hey guys, we haven't flown a Pico balloon in about a year now, because we just want to do something kind of different, and we're getting the urge to get another one up in the air. So we'll probably launch it somewhere mid October. And there we go. We got Bill. We got Bill in there. Let me get Bill in here. Well, I think he's in there. You there, Bill? Let me fix the audio.
Hey.
Let me fix it. The audio's bad, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let me fix audio. Open sound settings. I don't know why Microsoft has to.
Yeah,
it looks like the Russellville's going to be sometime in March, but I don't have the current date.
that sounds good.
All right. So, Bill, is that better?
No, yours just started, but Glen was good.
Okay. I'm still distorted. Let's see.
The audio's real low for him.
Is good. I heard him over the phone.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong setting here. Let me let's see. Troubleshoot advanced.
Well, Tom, we've got Nick's of Missouri in November 9th.
Yeah. Bill, how's the audio now on the phone?
Yeah, Glen sounded good that time.
How about me?
But
How about me?
You're pretty weak.
I'm weak? Okay.
You're weak.
Okay. How's it sound now?
Much better.
Okay. Is it clear enough?
Yeah, that's good now.
That's
Yeah.
good? Okay. I don't know why Microsoft changes all the audio settings every time. I don't know, man. Anyway. Okay, cool. Well, hey, Bill's been helping me with a lot of stuff, man. We had in our tracker we've been flying, we haven't had good voltage readings in a long time. And it hadn't been that important to me, but I wanted to try to get that working. And I drove Bill crazy. I know I did. He worked and worked and worked, and he finally found enough bugs in the code that he was able to get the voltage calibration right. So it looks like we're reading bottom end from about 2.7 to 5.2 volts. So that's great. And Bill, it may be off a tenth here or there. I'm not worried about it. I've been watching it today. And right when it got down to the 2.8 or so, we just quit transmitting. So
Yeah, that's about the limit. So
yeah, I measured the battery, and
the
that was about it. It was a little lower than that possibly, but I could tell. I knew what happened when the last reading was 2.8. We didn't get any more. I knew that the battery had run down. I've got another battery out there on it now. That battery out there should last until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And again, if you guys go to aprs.fi, you can pick the balloon up there and see it on the map if you just search for W5 KUB-120 R121. Now, I've got it set up like that because I'm running 10 meters and 20 meters, so we're actually getting 2 different reports there. But anyway, I want to talk a little about that. Bill, I don't know if, I guess it's working okay at 40 feet. I don't get a lot of I don't get a lot of receptions at 40 feet, but here's Bill. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the whisper for 40. I mean for 20 and 10 combined. Mostly just the U.S., but that might be okay with the antenna only 30 feet off the ground. I don't know.
That's not bad.
And
it seems to be getting out pretty good. You're getting good reception report on both bands. In fact, you seem to be doing a little bit better on 10 meters. 10 meters actually tends to be a longer propagation for the amount of power you're running.
Well, the
running
interesting thing is, look at this. Let's see the gray line or the night there. The transmit.
Right.
This is 10 meters. This is 10 meters here, and if you look at 10 meters, it all goes to the west coast. Now, I want you to look at 20 meters. Here's 20 meters. 20 meters is basically all to the east coast in the dark. So, what does that mean?
That's very interesting. Yeah, 10 tends to shut down right at sundown.
Yeah, 10 is to the west coast, and 20 is to the east coast. And when I combine them, of course, that's what we got there when we combine them. Now, at 40,000 feet, I'm hoping that we get worldwide coverage there. I guess that's pretty good for 40 feet, running 10 milliwatts. That's not much. But this is using the trap dipole that I want to use. So we're running dual frequency. During the 10-minute interval, we're running 4 minutes on 20 meters, and then after that stops, we run for 4 more minutes on 10 meters. And then I guess what, we have a 2-minute quiet period, don't we, Bill?
Yeah, that gives you a chance for the GPS to get a good reading and lock up again. And what I've noticed is 10 meters has been exceptionally good the last few weeks. So you're going to get some excellent coverage. I launched a balloon on 10-meter whisper for Athens State University, W4CQD-2, and it came down, hit a big storm in Colombia, and it's in the rainforest, hanging on a tree in the rainforest of Colombia, near the Peruvian border, and every day we're getting reports on 10 meters in Europe and the United States from that rainforest tree beacon.
Well, you're going to have to pay somebody to go shoot that thing down.
Well, I did a little story. I did a little research on the town that it's in, and apparently the drug cartels are claiming all the land, and they're growing coca plants, and they're trying to put the other ranchers out of business. So I don't think I'm going to go down there to go get it.
I don't know. You may never get that one back here. So anyway, so we're transmitting 8 minutes out of 10, solid transmission 8 minutes out of 10, and normally you transmit 4 minutes out of 10, but we're doing 8 minutes out of 10. And I just wonder, is that gonna wear out my transmitter quicker? Is it gonna be just as dependable, 450 days from now, or is it gonna burn out quicker? What do you think, Bill?
It'll probably keep things a little warmer, so it'll probably be all right.
That's the interesting thing. You talk about things warmer, and people know that it's minus 40 degrees up there. But you know what? The stuff gets warm up there. You would have thought in the cold up there, the chips and everything would be just cold, but the heat stays in.
The solar heating is really powerful, particularly at that altitude, and everything tends to warm up about 20 degrees higher than ambient temperature. So it really is quite amazing. You can actually tell when the payload kind of twists slowly around. You can see a definite drop in temperature when the sensors are not facing the sun. Yeah, Mark made a mention. I had a 10-meter whisper balloon land in Georgia and transmitted for 3 months from a tree there every day.
Yeah. Well, we had that one. We had that one landing on that school, and we were able to recover it down in Georgia, I think. Well, Bill, talking about the coldness of minus 40 degrees up here, when we did the big hub, the big high altitude balloon, we chased it with the cameras and stuff. Those things heated up pretty good inside that. We put them in a box to insulate them and all that, but they heated up inside. And what it is, there's not any really air up there. It's more of a vacuum. and there's no air flowing across anything to cool it. So the heat basically stays in the components, like the camera or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that in some of their payloads when they put up cameras and higher power transmitters. They actually can melt things down because it gets so hot. So, I actually, when I run a several watt TV transmitter, I actually put the heat sink so it's outside to dump some of that heat out.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason we wanted our voltage to work on this one is to do something different. We are, let's see, to do something different. We're gonna run instead of the typical flat top with the solar panels on it, which require the sun to be up almost 20 degrees before they start working. We're gonna hang this sucker just like you see it right there, and we're gonna run vertical cells. And if you think about a vertical cell, if you look at the horizon, and the sunbeam comes from the horizon over and hits this thing, the sun elevation is practically 0 degrees. So we're hoping, and we've had some luck with offset panels that we get very low angle of sun it works. And of course, with this being winter, the sun doesn't get really high. So basically, the sun should come in directly into that thing at about a 90 degree. And as the sun goes up, probably it's not going to go past the 20 degree mark on those cells where they stop working. So I'm thinking and hoping that we will have voltage all the way from sunrise to sun peak and then all the way back down to sunset. We did go through.
Tom,
Yeah.
Those cells, one chain of those cells is enough to run your transmitter?
Yeah. One set will run it. Yeah. So we've got 3 cells there, and we're using
How
shock.
difficult is it to solder those cells together, Tom?
Now, what was that, Bill?
How difficult is it to solder those cells together?
Well, I tell you, those little cells are terrible to try to put together, guys. I have you can see right there, there's a broken one. I mean, I can put 3 or 4 together, and a lot of times we break one, and I have to take it off. But I have found, Bill, instead of putting wire on them, I bought me some of this, what do you call it?
Tabbing, they call it.
Tacking? Is it tacking?
Tabbing?
Tabbing stuff. And I found that, I mean, it's pretty much solder coated. And I found that really you're not heating the solar cell as much. You lay that tacking out. What I do, I put one little bitty drop, maybe a half a drop of flux on that cell right there. And then I lay that tab on there, and I just run the soldering iron down that tab, and it sticks pretty good. Guys, that little surface, that little stripe you see, it is almost nothing. It's almost nothing to solder to. It is so thin and comes off so easy when it's hot. So this tabbing works pretty good, and with the tabbing here, we're able to put the tabs on, and of course each cell is in series, so you can see, the top of one goes to the bottom of the other. What was that?
I wonder if you could use solder, the solder paste that you can heat with just a hot air gun.
Yeah, you might could. You might could. I really think you just need to really focus the heat right there on that little strip, and not everywhere else. So here's the styrofoam frame we built that's has the cells. We to try to make it as light as possible. We cut out all we can, and that of course that makes it lighter. And then we'll put enough cells, like Bill says. 6 cells will run the tracker. 6 will run the tracker. So what we did, we went on 3 sides, because if this thing rotates or turns up in the air, you're going to lose the sun. And if you lose the sun, your voltage goes to 0, and your tracker is going to reset. and the processor has to reset. I have tried this. I've taken this outside and turned it in the sunlight, and pretty much, no matter where it's aimed, we pretty much don't ever lose the sun. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the tracker in there. We're going to hang it vertically like that. We've got each 3 sides.
You have supercapacitors on there too, right?
No, I'm not, and I could. That supercapacitor would make it guaranteed that we wouldn't lose the voltage if it swung around. But I've not seen us lose the voltage on this at all. I thought about putting some super caps in, Bill, but this is starting to get heavy, and 2 more super caps is going to add some weight, and I'm kind of thinking not to do it. So I got 3 sides. Either side will run the tracker, and we've got Schottky diodes blocking each one, because the one in the sun is the one that's going to put out voltage. The others that are in the dark will try to suck out the voltage. It'll go backwards, and that's the reason we use the Schottky diodes on all 3 of them to block any backflow of current into the dark cells. So that's one of the reasons. One of the things we're doing different. Now let's see what I got here. Let's see. There it is, put together. There's another shot. Billy, look, that thing is starting to get heavy. That's 14 grams right there. And one thing, it's not so much the styrofoam and the solar cells, but you see that adhesive that I put under the edges of those cells? That adhesive adds 2 and 3 grams easy to this. If I could put them on without using adhesive, that would be cool. But I haven't figured out a good way yet to do that. So you can see just the frame alone, 5 grams right there. And there's one broken. You can see I'm taking the tabbing wire off. Is it tabbing or tacking? It's tabbing, isn't it?
Tabbing.
Yeah. So there we go right there. That's putting it together. That's what the frame looks like. Hopefully it'll stay together. Okay, so that's our power situation that we're going to fly. And let me see. Okay. All right. So now, as I was mentioning to everybody, Bill, you've had great luck flying a tracker on 10 meters. You had good coverage, and we've had great luck flying on 20 meters. But I'm thinking, okay, why not fly one on 20 and 10 meters at the same time? So you're going to have different propagation. It's going to go different directions. Hopefully, it's going to open the door up to more and more people tracking it. So with a single antenna, it's easy to hang a single 20-meter dipole or a single 10-meter. But I questioned, what are we going to do for a dual-band antenna? I looked at a lot of things. I looked at things like off-center fed, and I looked at, it's almost impossible to do an in-fed because there's no counter. Well, I could put a counterpoise, I guess, on there, but then that'd make it off-center fed. But so I thought, okay, let's go with a dipole. So I built a dipole in the shack just to see if it was possible. And let's see, I got a picture of it. This is very crude, guys. Look at this. That's my dipole right there. You like that? That's I've got it hanging up in the shack here. And that's not a toroid, guy. That's a little rubber grommet right there in the center, just holding that wire together. I just needed a little insulator there.
Is that wire wrap wire?
That what? What was that?
Is that wire wrap wire or even thinner?
No, this is a little bit larger wire. This is probably number 24, so it's a little bit lot heavier. But this is just to test the capability of this, if this thing, feasibility of it'll work or not. So anyway, I stretch it out in the shack. Of course, a 20 meter dipole is 33 feet long. Now, I don't have 33 feet inside this shack. My shack's smaller at this house. So anyway, I started off. I thought, okay, let's put traps in the antenna. So I built some traps right here. I built some traps, and what I did, I took a drinking straw and cut me off a little half-inch piece of drinking straw. Took me a needle and stuck me a couple holes in it, and I wrapped the wire around the drinking straw. And I also put a 10 picofarad capacitor inside that. So there's a little 10 picofarad capacitor that's sticking out there that the wires are on. Now, you can calculate the inductance you need. This is a resonant circuit. There are a lot of formulas and a lot of sites on the internet that will actually calculate this for you. You just put the numbers in. You put the length of the coil, the diameter of the coil, the number of turns, and it tells you the microhenries and so forth. So it was pretty easy to construct these coils. Now, they don't look pretty here because they don't look like they're wound very good, but they were wound really neat and pretty. But to tune these, you spread or contract the coils. So you take your fingers and just spread those coils out, or you push them back together. And that will actually tune the resonant frequency. And you can see it on the spectrum analyzer here. There it is for 10 meters. The dip right there is right there on 10 meters. So by spreading that coil in and out with your fingers, you can actually move that dip there, to 27. You can put it down a CB band, or you can put it up higher, or, you can put it right on. Whisper is somewhere around 28, 125 or something. That's showing right now 28, 150, but that's okay. So by squeezing or pulling apart by sliding the coils, you can actually tune that resonant frequency. And once I got that, then I took super glue and just put drops of super glue on the wire around there. And that super glue, it crystallized, it hardened, and now you can't adjust that coil. That coil is stuck, man. I couldn't adjust it if I wanted to. So there it is, just roughly just soldered into the wire. First I just put a straight 10 meter dipole up. A 10 meter dipole, each leg is 8 feet, like 8 feet 1.5 inches. So you make you a 10 meter dipole, you get it resonant, and then you put the coil on there, the trap, and then you extend the wire. Now that shortens your 20 meter antenna. That coil actually becomes a loading coil also. So a 20 meter antenna from center to end is 16 feet. I've only got 12 feet there. So this thing shortened, that loading coil shortened that 20 meter side by 4 feet. So I got one on each end of the here. I just stretched it out in the shack here. I took some blue painter's tape and taped the ends up on the wall, and then I looked at I put the little coax there. I put that coax on there so I could hook it to my antenna analyzer. Look at the match I've got on that thing on 20 meter Whisper 14097. Look at that. Look at that needle, 1 to 1, 50 ohms.
That's gorgeous.
And then look at 10 meters. There's 10 meters, 28, 543. Look at the match. Now,
that's outstanding.
And everywhere else, of course, the SWR is crazy. But on the two resonant frequencies, it's a great match. But I didn't know how well it was going to work, and that's the reason I have it hanging in a tree tonight, to just try to run it. Is it going to work? Because I was a little suspect. I was a little suspect, and I might not know what I'm looking at here. But when I'm looking at this, if you look back up there to the start, you see that line starts coming down a little bit. The line starts coming down, and it's several dB. It may be 5 or 6 dB low right there. And I'm thinking, okay, is that going to attenuate my 20 meter signal by that many dB? And obviously it's not doing it. Somehow, I don't understand the trap exactly how it works, but it seems like 20 meters is doing great, and it seems like 10 meters is doing great. And so that's my story, man, and I'm sticking to it tonight.
Did you calculate how many microhenries or nanohenries that coil?
Yeah, I think, and I'll have to look it up, Bill. I think it's I think that coil is 5 microhenries. 5 microhenries and a 10 picofarad across it. I think that's resonant at the 28.15. And again, basically, on the internet, you got calculators that calculate, the inductance and the capacitance for resonant frequency. And there's a great site on there too. A guy in the UK has a great site for winding coils, and he's got a site where if you want a 5 microhenry coil, he's got a little website, and you just plug in some numbers. I've got a straw here that's 10 millimeters in diameter, and I want to make it about, I want to make it like 20 millimeters long, and I'm going to put 25 turns around it, and you hit the enter key, and it comes back and it tells you what the inductance is, and it's really close. And again, by tuning it with your fingers, by sliding it back and forth, you're actually varying that inductance. So anyway, that's what we've been working on the last couple of days here. Let's see. I thought about a at one point I thought about a off center fed antenna. So I needed a 4-to-1 match. So I wound me a little 4-to-1 match there and tried it. I didn't like it where it's resonant. It just didn't look very good to me. But you can see it's getting out. I haven't looked at the whisper lately. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not seeing this thing being picked up all over the world, although it is very near the ground here in 10 milliwatts. So I think when I get up to 40,000 feet, I think it probably will reach out. What do you think?
Well, wait until the morning when the propagation goes to Europe on 10 meters. First thing in the morning, 10 meters and 20 meters, you ought to see some European coverage.
Yeah, I'll probably have to take I've got another battery charged here. I'll probably have to take me another battery out in the morning. I've got a 1100 milliamp hour battery on there right now, and it's going to probably run about 7 or 8 hours, and then it's going to die. I don't know what my voltage is right now, but we're probably in pretty good shape right now. I think we're going to run at least until about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll put another battery on in the morning. And Bill, your Python stuff is working good. The Python I got from you earlier, I just can't make it work. It just when I execute it, kind of like it flashes, but then it goes away, and I don't see.
Sometimes what you're trying to do you have Python loaded on your machine, the actual Python program?
I do on the desktop, yeah, I do, and I have all that beautiful soup and all those things, whatever you're supposed to have.
Okay.
It's on there.
It's possible, on my computer, it's set up so that when I actually click on a Python file, it'll run it in a command window without having to compile those executable. But I had to set some things up to do that, so I sent you Windows executable. There's a program called Py2exe but it only works on older versions of Python. They have another way of doing it now that's more complicated. So, like I say, new and improved rarely are.
Well, let
But,
me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question
older
because
version,
yeah, I've got a Windows 11 laptop, and I installed Python 3 point something on it, but I think I'm supposed to have all this other stuff, beautiful soup or soup mix or whatever those things are called, you know, and run get pip and all that mess. I don't know how to. I did it on my desktop, but it's been so long I forget how to do it. So I know all those other libraries aren't installed on my Windows 11, but I do have Python 3 installed. Now, I took your executable file and I went over there to it, and when I execute it, it does come up with the box and it runs on that Windows 11.
11?
Uh,
It works on a 11 machine?
it's working on my Windows 11 too.
Oh, that's
Missing
good to know.
library?
Because when I make an executable out of it, it adds in all that stuff that you need in the image. So it should be. That's good to know that it works. But sometimes it kicks off the antivirus stuff.
Windows
Tries to prevent the .exe file from running, and they don't give you an option but it just says, do you want to cancel? But it doesn't show you to run anyways. To get to the run anyways screen, you have to click two things to see it.
Well, I had to. Yeah, I had to turn off my antivirus or whatever for it to run. So I can probably go in there and whitelist it where it'll work. But
Right.
on my Windows 11, I had to turn off the antivirus.
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right.
The nice thing in the Windows executable Python is you can run a whole bunch of those tracking a whole bunch of different balloons. If you're just running it straight from Python, then it's harder to do. So
Yeah.
you can had upwards of 7 of those working at once on my computer.
All right. Well, anybody have any news on what's going on with the hurricane? I think it's supposed to hit Florida Wednesday, tomorrow morning, possibly early morning.
That's what
Yeah.
they say. They don't know how strong it will be when it gets there. They're hoping for the best.
Well, I think it's going to be at least a Category 4. It could be a 5.
Well, when it hits, but it'll probably drop to a 3 relatively quickly.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
That's what I'm hearing for Orlando tomorrow night.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Mark says he heard tomorrow evening.
3 being the most likely. It being the most likely magnitude, but we got to see.
Yeah. Well, I do have a little bit of news on another subject.
All right. What is it?
The day before I had all my fun last week, I had about an hour-long conference call with my editor at ARRL,
Yeah.
and we have come up with the next book that they want me to write.
Oh boy.
And
You hadn't finished this one yet, have you?
yeah, I have.
Okay.
It will not be Arduino, believe it or not.
Is it going to be? I bet you it's going to be Pi or
No.
what's that other thing? What's that other board we got? What's it going to be? Give us a hint.
It's not going to be on a board. It's not going to be on microcontrollers.
Okay.
It's going to be about updating the microwave mesh networking book that I did 10 years ago. Yeah, I like that, John. Yeah, can you believe it's not Arduino?
Yeah, that'd be a good title. That would be a good title right there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're going to be redoing the mesh networking book, which, so we're going to be including the AREDN mesh networking, the Meshtastic, WinLink, all that kind of thing. We're going to be updating that book and getting it current. And so hopefully we'll have that done in about a year or so.
Well, that
Hey, Tom,
yeah, yeah.
you're being heard in the Canary Islands just recently on both bands. So
Oh,
you're
really?
getting out to the east.
Okay, I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it lately. That picture I showed y'all was early. Well, the Canary Islands. That's Canary Islands.
That's off the
And
coast of
Glenn,
Africa.
your title of your book should be Not Arduino. Not Arduino.
Yeah.
That ought to
Yeah, well,
in
John-
the chat.
Yeah, John said
Oh,
a
that's
good
in the
title
chat.
would be "Can You Believe It's Not Arduino?"
Oh, okay.
That's a good title. Both of you guys have good titles.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Bill, did you get the little board I sent you?
Not yet.
Okay, it's in the mail. You should have it tomorrow, I would guess.
Okay, good. I'll be looking for it.
Yeah, it's all together, and you know, did you
I'll test it out.
did you see the picture I sent you of the little prototype board or test board that? Well, here it is right here. Did you see that in the email I sent you? Maybe.
I
not.
haven't looked this evening.
Well, of course, there's our tracker
Oh.
to the left, and Bill, what I had on the other night testing is this board on the right here. This is the same
Yeah.
tracker. This is the same tracker as what's on the left. It's identical.
Oh, okay.
It's identical, except it's all on one-sided board, and it's spread.
Right.
It's
You
sp-
did mention- yeah.
it's spread out here, and you can see the test points on it where we can hook a scope to it or whatever. So this is kind of
Yeah,
our.
that's not.
Yeah. What was that, Bill?
I say that's a nice way of doing testing.
Yeah. Your
I can actually get-
your audio's kind of garbling. It's kind of coming in and out. I don't know. You're not on speakerphone, are you?
I'm on my cell phone.
Okay. It's doing okay most of the time. Okay.
Well, if I set it down more than a foot away, the audio goes out on it.
Uh-huh.
It's an older iPhone.
Okay.
But you're working on both bands, so you're getting out good on both bands for hanging 40 feet in a tree. So that's working.
All
good.
right. Let's see who we got. We got somebody else on the phone here. Who else is in here with us?
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. This is Bill, K8DXX in Sebring, Florida.
What was that?
Kilowatt 8.
K8DXX.
Delta X-ray, X-ray, K8DXX.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill. And you're down in where
I
in
think we
Florida?
talked before.
Where you?
But I'm in Sebring, Florida, and you were asking for an update on the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes.
It's supposed to hit the coast somewhere between Tampa and St. Pete at about 2 o'clock this morning. Or, I'm sorry, Thursday morning.
Oh.
It'll be probably a Category 3, and we're looking for both the Weather Channel app and AccuWeather apps on my phone are saying the highest winds that we're going to get are 35 miles an hour, but I don't think that's right.
No.
Because we're going to be pretty close to the eye of the storm.
Are you on high ground? I mean.
Yeah, we're like 70 miles from the Gulf, and we're on what's called a ridge that goes through Highlands County, and so we're like 165 feet above sea level.
All right. Well, I don't think it's going to. I heard it's probably not going to get above 160 feet. So you guys are probably okay.
Yep, I think so.
Man.
I just called in and thought I'd
Yeah.
pass that information on.
I'm sorry I didn't see you on there. You been waiting a long time?
No, just about 30 seconds.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad I heard you on there because we don't have an indicator on here that. We don't have an indicator.
Is there a delay between the video I'm seeing and,
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's 20, 30 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, there will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll drop off the line now. I just continue watching, but thought I'd give you that update on the
Okay.
hurricane here hitting Central Florida.
All right. Well, Bill, I don't recognize your call on here. Have you been with our show much lately, or did you just find us recently?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I just retired about 4 months ago. I'm kind of getting back into what it's like to be retired. So.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're retired, you should have time to watch the show every Tuesday night. So
I'll do that.
Be sure and
Listen,
tune
thanks for your time. God bless.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Be safe down
Stay
here.
safe.
All right. All right. You know, he sounded a lot better than Bill did, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I don't know.
That's because Bill's on that ancient iPhone.
Well, it may be just Bill's connection. That guy had a very
Well, it's like Bill said, his signal is not real good on that phone.
yeah. Well, I know even when I'm on my phone, I mean, at certain times people say, "Oh, I didn't understand what you said, or you're breaking up, or are you there?" I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had at one time the oldest cell phone that was working in North Alabama. It was an old Nokia with the pull-out antenna.
Oh,
And
Lord.
that had the best audio of any phone I've had. And they finally shut it down after 17 years on the same phone. And
I
to
had
go get
one
an
of those
iPhone.
bag phones, so not only could I call you, I could call in an airstrike.
Well, guys, this was my first cell phone right here,
Yes, sir.
and I had a car kit. It would snap right there in the car, and man, you'd have speakers and a microphone and an antenna and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I once took one of those bag phones and attached it to a Yagi antenna and bounced the signal off a mountain to connect to the internet using a modem. That was fun.
I figured you bounced it off the moon, man.
I had an old Motorola flip phone.
Yeah.
That kind of had the big orange display in it. And I stood with that big phone next to a store in the mall, and I pretended like I was making a call on it. And somebody says, "What is that?" I go, "Well, this is the new iPhone 16 prototype. That's got me. I'm one of the engineers, and they're letting me test it." And they said, "What does it do?" I says, "Well, you can send text messages, but you have to use your touchtone keypad to send one letter at a time. ABC on one, and it doesn't do texting very well, but the audio quality is fabulous." And he says, "Well, we don't want that. Tell them we don't want that." I had them worried.
I still miss my slider phone. That's the one that I liked the most. It had real keys, not a touch screen that's always making errors.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was of the BlackBerry generation. I loved my BlackBerry.
All right. What else is going on, guys? We got about, it's almost time to shut the show down, but what else is going on? Anything good?
I'm getting the house closer and closer to getting on the air and getting stuff going, as you can see. So,
Now,
Step by step.
Glenn, did you come down and cut your grass last week, and did you get your grass cut?
no. I strictly came down for the testing on Tuesday,
Oh, okay.
and I had stopped by the house, and yes, the lawn needed mowing, but I'm on doctor's orders that I'm not allowed to push it, so I contracted out for somebody to mow my lawn for me. So I'm only going to be
That's
coming
good.
back as needed. So
That's good.
probably the next time I come back is for the closing.
Hey,
All
I've
right.
got a question for Brett.
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you able to see
Go
the
ahead.
Northern Lights last night?
Was I able to see what last night?
The Aurora, the Northern Lights.
Oh, for some reason in Laramie, it takes a really powerful storm for us to see the northern lights. If it isn't KP7, we really can't detect very much.
It hit a KP7 last night.
I don't even know what
I
that
saw it
is.
here in Alabama.
I wasn't
Aurora.
looking, but
Oh.
maybe
The,
we probably would have
Yeah, I
gotten
got
to think.
to see it here briefly.
I forgot and didn't look.
Well, guys, I talked to.
You know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm wondering if anybody listening to your show actually worked Aurora on 2 meters, and because it's a lot of fun to do. I didn't think to do it because it was such a brief show here in Alabama, because it was only visible for about 10 minutes last night. But I would really love to start working Aurora contacts again.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Are they
It
kind of
sounds
fuzzy
like
and
a very
staticky, or what do they
raspy
sound
DW.
like?
It's very noisy.
Yeah, that's something I want to start playing with, is that kind of thing, and moon bounce. Tom, you at one point you were going to do some moon bounce,
I
weren't you?
want to do it. I'm set up here. I got the antennas. I got the rotor. I can aim it. I've got the radio. Somebody told me on the digital modes it's real easy to do. So I just need to do it. I work satellite, so I need to try it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
by the
cannot wait
way,
to get my shack.
I may have access to a 30-foot dish. You think that'll be good enough for moon bounce, Tom?
It probably would if you can aim it.
Yeah, you're going to want it to be a little bit bigger, though.
Your mount is going to be your biggest cost.
The Athens State has acquired a 30-foot dish, and they're going to put it up down here and have it remotely accessible to do moon bounce.
Oh, how cool is that?
There's I don't know if you guys knew Paul Wilson or not. I think his call was something like HHK or something, WK4 or HHK or something. He lived in Collierville here, and he's a silent key now, but you can still drive by his house over there. He has like a 30-foot dish aimed straight up. I think it's on a tank turret. He actually would turn. He actually would turn the dish and move the dish like that. And when NASA had the Apollo program and stuff, they were having some trouble at different times, and Paul was actually able to. I'm not sure if he helped them or if he was able to at least pick up the communications even when NASA couldn't. So yeah, he was big into it. Big dish over there. I guess whoever buys that house is going to have to take that dish with it.
A friend of mine in Kansas lives on one of the highest fields at the plains of Kansas, 0OY, east size. He bought Van Halen's original dish antenna. It's a 28-foot dish, and it's on a battleship gun mount. That's how it points it, the battleship gun mount.
All I heard out of that was battleship gun
about
mount.
30 feet off the ground on this battleship gun mount at his farm, and it's just the most amazing thing.
Cool.
I found Paul's call here. It is W4HHK. I want to show you the QRZ page. Let's see. Let me log in here real quick. And
I remember Paul.
yeah. 60.
Hey, it's now the club call sign of the Collierville Millimeter Wave Society.
Oh, that's nice.
Let's see. 5 HK. Is it HHK?
Oh wow, I see the picture of his dish.
Yeah,
that looks like my friend Pete
W4.
Sias's dish.
Yeah, W4HHK. I'll show you guys it's still on his QRZ site, and I guess the club has taken over Let's see if we can. This is in the backyard over there, guys.
Oh, wow.
This is right off the road. When you drive by there, you can't miss it. That's in the backyard. Man, oh man.
That'll do it.
Any bigger and not just stringing up on cables like Arecibo.
Yeah,
Like Arecibo.
Man. Anyway, that's something there. Right now, it looks like that's the club call sign. And let's see. Well, okay. Anyway, that was it. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'd go
worked
there.
in
You
before
know,
on
the person that lives there might want to get rid of it. If somebody wants to go take it down, they may just give it to you. Anybody want to take it down?
It's still at his house.
Yeah, it's still there in the backyard. Yeah,
Wow.
right there, all poplar. Yep. I'll make a call, and if they want to give it away, maybe I'll let you guys know on the show next week. If anybody wants it, you can come down and get it.
Won't fit in my car.
Bring you a 40-foot flatbed truck and
Yeah.
plenty of help and some hydraulic tools and don't forget
And a crane.
don't forget a crane. Yeah. Okay.
A helicopter
Yeah,
would
that's
come in handy too.
There you go.
You know,
John
you
called
might.
it
I don't.
right.
I guess a Chinook would probably carry it. Bill, we could probably lift that thing up and carry it down to your house.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hear whisper clicking away over there, Bill. I haven't looked lately, but I'll go check it here in a minute. We're gonna go ahead and end the show, and we will.
I could point that dish at Calleryville from up here on my mountain and work you any time of the day or night on 1.2 gigahertz probably.
You probably could.
Yeah. Increase the power and cook him a turkey sandwich too.
Yeah. Paul, it
Remotely.
says here Paul died in 1999, so that was 25 years ago.
Wow. 25
25 years
ago,
is
yeah.
still in the backyard.
I used to work him years ago.
Built
Yeah.
to last.
Yeah. All right. Good night to everybody out there. Glad you tuned in to Amateur Radio Roundtable. We really appreciate it. Come back and see us next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. If you're listening out there on radio, come on back and join us on our live video webcast on Tuesdays, 8 o'clock on w5kub.com, or you can find us on Twitter. We're streaming on Twitter. We're streaming on Facebook group. We're streaming on Twitch TV, and we're streaming on. Listen, I already said Facebook group. Who to leave out? X. No, Twitter, Twitch TV, Facebook, and YouTube. All right. And if you guys can think of any other places we need to add the stream to, we can add the stream.
Mark says YouTube.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Good night.
Glad you're with
Next week.
us.
7-3.
7-3.